Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new, really exciting upcoming release for you guys. I got these in PR and I'm really excited about them. It's from Sonia G, the Sky Eye Set. I keep wanting to say face set because I've gotten so accustomed to saying the Sky face set. That was the last brush launch that she had done, and for whatever reason it is tripping me up every single time I try to say eye set. It doesn't want to come out. I have redone this intro at least 15 times. I'm not kidding because I kept saying face or messing something else up. But we're just going to run with it. Anywho, this is what we are going to be talking about today. I'm going to be showing you guys a demo using these as well as comparing them to other eye brushes I have in my collection. Now, I don't have every single brush from Sonia G. However, I have the majority of the eye brushes. But if you're looking for more comparisons, please check out her Instagram. She does side-by-side comparisons. She talks about the differences between this brush set and then the last one, the last eye set that she released, the Pro set. And she just goes into depth about every single one of the brushes. So if you want some really good information, definitely check out her Instagram. Again, I am linking it down below. And thank you to Sonia G and Beautylish for sending these to me. I just got off the phone with them because I ordered a backup set, or pre-ordered, because they're not out yet. Beautylish told me when I did my pre-order that these would be shipping out to me on the 19th. So I'm assuming that that is also when these will release. I know for sure that they will be this upcoming week, but I'm not sure on the date. I'm just assuming the 19th because that's when they will be sent out to me. And the set retails for $160. Now you guys might be thinking, that's $10 more than the last Pro set. So I'm gonna get on Sonia G's Instagram, like I just said, and I'm going to read the reason why. She says they have the same handle length and shape as the Pro eye set, which they do. So these are just two brushes side by side. This is the Sky set and this is from the Pro. You can see the handles on these, they are the same, just a different color. She goes on to say that these are slightly more expensive as the involved additional materials and more time and effort to manufacture them. So that's the reason for the $10 price jump from the $150 for the Pro set to the $160 for the Sky set. She says the Sky set has 5 soft and powerful workhorses. They offer comfort, control, reliability, and simplicity. These may look like basic shapes, but I could never find these exact shapes and these precise specs anywhere. The search was real and obsessive. I have to say, I love that about her brush line. There is something for everybody. She truly puts in a lot of effort to reach everybody. There is a brush for any concern that you have. Anything, all her shapes and everything, they're just amazing. So I'm going to get into each one of these. Now she has descriptions for all of these brushes except for one on her Instagram. I guarantee that as soon as I am done filming this video, it will be there. I just feel like it's going to be there because she's been putting them up one by one. Anywho, if that does happen and it happens while I'm editing, I will just insert the picture, but we're going to get into the descriptions. I am going to show you guys the differences before I actually use these in the demo while they're clean. I have washed these. I'm going to show you a picture of them before I wash them and after I wash them, everything. You guys are going to see everything. But first, let's get into each of the brushes. There are 5 in the set, and the very first one I'm going to talk about is the white one. It is the only white one of the bunch, called the Soft Shader. The Soft Shader is a versatile lay down brush. It can be used on the entire lid, the mobile lid, the outer V, or the bottom lash line. The sides are slightly curved for a bit more control with the placement. That's not all the information she provides on this brush, but I don't want to read everything to you guys, so I highly suggest, if you are looking for everything you could possibly find about them, to check out her Instagram. I am, however, going to insert the part where she talks about the specs, which are the total length, hair length, furrow length, material, all of that will be in the corner of every brush that I talk about. Moving from the Soft Shader, On to the Jumbo Blender, which is one of my favorites in the collection. This is an all-over base brush. It layers even the sheerest shadows and performs amazingly well as a fixer. It has extreme blending and polishing capabilities. It can fix an uneven application instantly, whether you just need to level the intensity or smooth your application. I love these type of brushes for that exact reason, especially this one because of the shape. I don't have anything that is this shape. I have larger ones, which you will see when I'm doing my comparisons. But if you take a brush like this, because it's dense enough to kind of smudge things out, but it's still fluffy at the same time, you can really go around the edges and fix a problem. You can shear something out, you can build up. This is just a really, really great well-rounded brush. Next up, we have the Mini Booster. A, I love the name of this brush, and B, this is also one of my favorites. I could take 10 of these, 10 of just this brush alone. All right, she says the Mini Booster from the Sky set is a soft but very powerful little crease brush. You can blend with precision or boost the intensity where needed. It's like a baby version of the Blender Pro, also quite tightly bundled, ideal when you need to work in smaller areas, or with hooded eyes, as I mentioned in my tutorial, or when the skin is not so tight and you struggle to get a smooth result. Next up, we have the Flat Definer, which is the smallest brush in the collection. This one is described as a mini shader, a smudger, and a flattened pencil brush. It's flat and thin, but with enough density to remain stable at the tip and achieve a neat and even application. It has just the right flexibility and softness at the tip not to pull or skip on the skin. Its main purpose is to provide definition at the top and lower lash line, which is how I use it today. I really got this right up against the lashes, but yesterday I took it and I used it on my inner corner to highlight, and it's just the perfect shape for that. And again, that flexibility, it really allows you to blend it out. It's really nice and soft for that inner crease. And if you want to, you can take this one and just go right at the brow arch, and you can get specific placement of your highlight there. So if you don't want it to be too far out, or you want it just a tiny little bit, this little guy will get right in there. The next one is the one that I don't have a description for. Let me double check on her Instagram and make sure she hasn't updated it, because I was just taking screenshots. So no, as of right now, there's no description for this particular one, and this is called the Classic Crease. The description is really in the name. It's an amazing, just classic crease brush, and it's nice and soft. You can get into the crease, blend out a transition area. It's just a lovely, lovely brush. Now what I want to do is show you the before and after I wash them. So the first set of pictures are right whenever I got them. I took them out of the plastic and I took a picture of them. Didn't use them or anything like that. Right after that, I used them for that day, which was yesterday. I washed them, let them dry overnight, and this is what they look like now. They fluffed up just a little bit, but they still hold their shape, which is something I love about her brushes. Sometimes brushes, I love them when I first get them, and then after I wash them, they just spray out so much no matter what I do. Her brushes have never done that to me. And now that you have seen the before and after me washing them, I'm going to show you these clean before I do my eye look and compare them to the brushes that I already have in my collection and show you which ones are the most similar. Let me get into that, and then we'll get into this eye look. Here's all 5 of the Sky Set brushes. I have used them, I have washed them, they are now dry, and what I'm going to do is compare them to brushes I already have in my collection so you guys can see the differences. I'm going to start off with this brush right here. This one is called the Mini Booster, and I want to compare it first to another brush that's not from Sonia G. This is a MAC 221 original natural hair brush. I'm just going to put these side by side so you guys can see the comparison in length. The 221 is definitely a little bit longer. This one's obviously a little bit shorter. They are about the same size when it comes to the actual brush, but this one is definitely more tapered than this one. And yeah, that I just wanted to show you guys side by side. As for the rest of the brushes, there's nothing like it in her collection. This is it. It's the only one like it. So if you're looking for something like this brush, you're going to have to get it in the Sky set. Next up, the Jumbo Blender. I love this brush. It reminds me a lot of the Kitten Paw. That's the way we used to call it at MAC, but a smaller version of it, and it's perfection. I could never use that MAC brush. I don't think I have it. Yes, I do. Okay. This is the Kitten Paw, what I call the Kitten Paw. Some people call it the Rabbit Paw or whatever. You can see it's a smaller one. This one I could do like an all over set my eye with, but this one I can actually pack on the lid and blend into the crease at the same time. It's really great. Now I'm going to compare it to some of the ones in her collection already. First, I'm going to go in with the Builder 2, show you side by side. This one is much more fluffy, while this one is a little bit smaller, a little bit more tapered, and a little bit more dense. The end of it as well, like this is more fluffy, it's more able to blend on the edge right here, whereas this one kind of tapers in to a pinch almost. So this one is really great for packing on the lid, and you can really work cream shadows and stuff, and I definitely think you can with this one as well. But this one just will blend a little bit better. Those are side by side, and then let's see what else we have. This one is the Worker 2. You can see this one is a little bit bigger. Again, a little bit more fluffy. This one's just a slightly stiffer than what this one is. And I've used these brushes several times. They've all been washed, cleaned a lot of times. So you can see side by side those. This is the Sonia G Builder 3 up against it. You can see size comparisons. The classic crease. I have been really digging this brush. I think it's perfect for blending out in the transition area, crease area, in the outer corner. It's such a perfect size. For comparison, this one right here is the Blender Pro. Put them side by side. On first look, you're gonna think, those look pretty darn similar, but they're not. This is where they are different. The classic crease is a little softer, not in the means of touch, because both of them are soft. All of Sonia G brushes are soft. This one is just a little bit more flimsy, and this one's a little stiffer. This one I'm going to use to really try to work out a shadow that I'm having a little bit more difficulty with, a shadow that is not as easy to blend out. Stiffer brushes work better in order to get those to move around, or this is going to work with the majority of your shadows. You can add in a light touch of color with this. You can do all in your crease, transition, everything. But if I wanted to really work out a shadow that is a little bit more difficult to blend out, I would go with this one. So there, those are. The next one is this guy right here, which is the Crease 2. The Crease 2, again, is just a little bit stiffer than what this one, the Classic Crease. I think this is the kind of brush that most people are going to love. This is the type of brush that most people are kind of used to as well. And I think this one's just a little bit smaller. It doesn't look that way, but this one is just a little bit more densely packed than this one. Yeah, there's those. Let me see. Is there another one that I need to compare? I don't think so. Okay, let's move on to the next brush, which is this one right here. I'm really excited about this one because I don't have many of this style in my collection, and this is the Flat Definer. So it's a small brush. The closest thing I can think of, let me see. This is my MAC 228. I like this style of brush for going on the inner corner or adding just small detail, but this brush isn't made anymore, not the natural hair version anyway. This one is, it's so good for the inner corner application, for smudging out liner. I did winged liner yesterday, and then I took black shadow, and I just kind of smudged right around it, and it was perfection. If you want to get right up against the lash line with this, it's amazing because of the shape. It's really nice and thin. It has a nice flexibility to it. It is beautiful, but it's not like anything else in the collection. Of course, we have the Pencil Pro, That's obviously a completely different shape. And then the Builder 3 is bigger. Yeah. And then this one right here, let's show the Builder Pro side by side. You can see those. This one's going to be more for all over the lid. I just think this one's going to be really great for lower lash line, a smoking out liner, inner corner, brow arch, that kind of thing. And I would personally even use this for a lip brush. But with it being natural hair, it kind of, you know, I prefer to have synthetic, but this would be a really, really great lip brush. The last brush we have here is the Soft Shader. Looks like this, and there's a few that we can compare with this one. So the very first one I'm going to grab is from the Pro line, and this is the Worker Pro. You put those side by side. You can kind of see that this one is slightly, just slightly more domed at the top, and it's a little bit more pinched, but these are kind of similar. I would say that this one's just a little bit bigger, and this one, yeah, this one's definitely more tapered. I'm feeling them. This one's definitely a little bit more tapered at the tip of them. See if you guys can see it or not. Side. There you go. But I would say that this one is pretty close. Next, this one right here, what are you? The Worker 3. This one's a little bit more fluffy than the Soft Shader, and again, it's a little bit bigger. You can see the tip right there. This one is just a little bit more fluffy than what this guy is. And then we have the Builder Pro. So the Builder Pro, compared to the Soft Shader, it is smaller. Side by side, you can see, I would say this is kind of like a bigger version of the Builder Pro, but again, it's still more tapered. This one's it's tapered, but it's a little bit more blunt than what the Soft Shader is. So this one's going to be better to really get up into the crease. If you wanted to stop in the crease and have a really nice line, the taperedness on this is really going to be able to get that done for you. I really like the tip on this. So there's those two. Is there anything else? This one is the Worker 2. Again, much bigger, much bigger. So I think that is it. What I'm going to do is go ahead and line these brushes up so you guys can see them side by side. There's the comparisons for you guys. I hope that was helpful for you, and now I'm going to get back to the video. For the demo, I'm going to be using my Surratt Beauty Beyond Beige Petite palette. I had somebody recently request me use this palette, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to show this in action as well as the brushes. So let's go ahead, get into this eye look, and you guys can see how the brushes perform. Starting off with the classic crease, I'm going to grab this shade right here. On this eye, I want to show you how this applies. Look, it's so pretty. I want to show you how this applies to the crease area with this brush, but then on the opposite side, I'm going to use the big fluffy one, or medium-sized fluffy one, for the lid and to blend into the crease so you guys can see how that works. But this brush is very, very soft. It blends out really nicely. This brush also is going to allow you to build or apply a shadow a little bit softer. So if you're somebody who, you know, you're always having too much product on your brush, you're always tapping it off, having trouble just laying down a small amount, or you're wanting to build it up instead of it all being there at once, this is a really great brush for that. I'm using the same color, but this time I'm going to take it on the Jumbo Blender. I'm going to start off by picking it up on the side of the brush. I'm first going to apply this all over the lid. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, but I'm just showing you two different methods. As you can see, this quickly, very quickly gets that color all over the lid. Now what I'm going to do is get a little bit of product on the tip of the brush. Then I'm going to work it upwards. Because this is a fluffy brush, you can get this to work for the lid as well as the crease area. So if I was in a rush and I wanted to get an eye look done really quickly, this is what I would do. I would go all over the lid like this and then start taking it up into the crease. And because of the way this brush was made, the shape, the density, just everything, the size, it makes it really effortless to just pop it on the lid and then blend it into the crease, and you don't even need to pick up another brush. Same color using the soft shader, and now I'm going to apply this to the lid on this side. So you can see this one took me two different ways. I had to put the color into the crease and transition area and then go in with another brush to add the color to the lid, whereas I did it all in one step with that other brush on the opposite side. I just wiped off the excess and I'm going to pick up the lightest shade in the palette. I'm going to use this to highlight my brow arch. Still using the same brush, but now I'm going to go in with this shade. I'm going to add this to the lid all over. I could have done this initially, but because I wanted to show you guys the effect of the other brush using it alone, that's why I didn't. I love that the shape of this brush allows me to pack on the lid, but then the taperedness of it gets it right up to the crease, right where I need it to be without it going any further. Same shade in the mini booster brush. I am going to blend this into the crease just a little bit. I apologize about my voice, you guys. I think I'm getting sick, as always. This is such a perfect brush for somebody who has hooded eyes. This is going to be your best friend because it's small. You can get a lot of definition with it. You can blend out. It's not going to be so big to where it's hard for you to use on hooded eyes. I'm just using this into the crease and slightly blending that shade upward, going back in with the classic crease and just going right around the edges. Same brush, same color. I am taking this right along the lower lash line, buffing it out. Same brush, now I'm going to grab the darkest shade in the palette, and this is where I'm going to add a little bit of definition to the outer corner and slightly up into the crease area right here, smoking it out just a little bit. This brush is so wonderful because you can really get it right where you need it to. Do you see how it just really tucks into my crease area and then blends out on the outer corner? It's a beautiful brush. I'm going to use this one a lot. Same color, flat definer, and I am really going to get this right up against my lower lash line. I'm also going to take just a little bit of this to the top lashes. And then I'm going to go add on mascara and liner. Thoughts on the brushes? I love them. Was there ever any question that I was going to? I mean, come on. These are beautiful, just like all of her other brushes. A question I feel in my gut that I am going to get asked is, do I get the Sky set or the Pro set? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like both of these sets really cater to the majority of people, whereas some of the other ones can be just a little bit fancier, like the Builder 2. Is this Builder 2? Yes, Builder 2. This one is a little bit different. If you're not a brush collector or a makeup enthusiast, you might look at this brush and be like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure what I could do with it, but it's amazing with cream products. These, all of them really are just easy to use. I feel like they are for everybody. This set has a softer crease brush, where this one I feel like has more of a brush that's going to do a little bit more work for you in the crease. So if you're using formulas that aren't as soft, maybe go with this one. But then this brush right here, I love this one. Jumbo Blender. You saw what I did. This, for me, on a daily basis, is something that I live for. Something that's going to just put it all over the lid, get it into the crease, and be done like that is amazing. And I mean, on this side, you have the Worker Pro, as well as on this side we have the soft shader. So those are kind of similar. You're getting an actual pencil brush on this side, but then you're kind of getting more of a dual purpose one on this side. This one is a little bit more defined than the pencil brush on this side, but if you don't want definition, then the pencil brush might be a little bit better. And then this one right here, oh, the mini booster. Just again, love the name. But I love this style brush for underneath the lash line. I love it for the outer crease. I love it for detail. I think it's just going to be preference. I think both of these are amazing sets. I think you're just going to have to look at these, look at the shapes, and see which one you like better, which one you think you will get the most use out of. I would say, though, if you have hooded eyes, I would go with this set. That's the one thing I would say, go with this one. Or even if you have more mature eyes, I think I still would go with this one because of the crease brush being just a little bit softer, and then you having the smaller brush and then the detail one. I think this one will be better for mature eyes as well as hooded eyes. Oh, I made kind of a decision there. I hope that was helpful. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I want to thank Sonia G and Beautylish for sending these to me. I greatly appreciate it, and it really helps me to get this review out to you guys before the set goes live. And yeah, I can't wait to get my second set that I just pre-ordered. Anywho, you guys let me know what you think about these. Are you excited? Are you going to get them? What are your thoughts? Leave them down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.